Things I Never Told My Doctor, Part 6 by John P. Gallagher. Chapter 12. I wanted to get good control of my finances. I always thought what money I had should be enough. My money seemed to just disappear. Quitting smoking was the best thing I could do for my budget. I could see the prices were going up as all the tobacco companies lost lawsuits from the state's Medicaid programs. Fewer people would be smoking too, with the way things were getting strict. I never thought to budget my money the way I was starting to now, that I had credit cards again. I learned from a house buying seminar that if you seriously want to buy a house, you had to be able to budget your money. I wanted to make sure I could make my credit card payments. I decided to apply what I learned about accounting in college to my income and expenses and to maintain detailed record keeping. All kinds of people were calling on the phone. I had no clue who was who. They were just calling to talk to me or ask me questions about general topics of interest like movies. I put my phone number on the bathroom wall saying, "Call John." I was also on the phone list for the bipolar support group for other members to call when they needed someone to talk to. My profile was also listed at that time in Who's Who. A friend asked me as a joke, "Would you like to give out your phone number for guys who are having a hard time to call?" I said, "Done." I got very active in the Monona Bay Park in Madison and joined many activities there. Once I walked through the park at midnight and a guy walked past reading a Bible. I frequently met a lover in the park. I had lovers on the college campus too. Students met for sex all day and night at various locations. I got a travel package deal to the Bahamas and Walt Disney World. I had to think about it. They give these deals to people so they run up their credit cards. Some people add more days or people at the regular price. They at least get the tax paid for the room. I had to pay for all travel arrangements except for the cruise and a few days at the hotel. I could bring one guest free of charge. I decided to take my brother Charlie. When we got through the Bahamas custom, they asked if I had anything to declare. I told them I had fig bars that were wrapped. I did not think there would be a problem since they were wrapped. Years ago there was a real problem with some fruit brought in from Florida that had bug larvae in it. They hatched in the Bahamas and caused problems. There was a crop infestation. When our trip to the Bahamas was over, we walked off the ship and were processed through United States Customs. There were signs posted stating a $400 penalty for bringing fruit to the Bahamas. I guess they figured the damages cost $400. My brother had a phone call thanking his father-in-law for the $400 credit on his credit card for blackjack gambling. Charlie charged $400 to our Bahama room for a fishing boat rental for the day. I decided not to go. He said he would cancel. When I got my credit card statement, there was a $400 charge for something built in the Bahamas. I eventually realized that the charge was for the fruit. I assumed that if I had not had the credit available, I would still be in the Bahamas in jail. Charlie informed me that his airfare was $400, and so he had to tell me like I paid for it. It was a wonderful company. Charlie was drinking 7 specialty import beers a day. His wife called to ask how things were going. I told her how many beers he was drinking. She said, "What? You can't drink that many beers." We had a good time. I was expecting a correction on my income taxes to pay for it, so what the heck. After many hospitalizations, Dr. Walters suggested I go to the GROW program to learn simple cooking skills and maybe a few office skills. The GROW program told me of a new program of $500 more a month of SSI called SSIE. It's for people receiving Social Security disability who are in the community for at least 40 hours a month. These stood for exceptional expenses. I was forced to sign up for the SSIE with help of the GROW program. After a while, they automatically gave it to everybody on disability income. They realized that people with disabilities were getting out into the community more, not just being warehoused in institutions. Now there is a new generation of psychiatric medications available that made people with disabilities more functional and more able to be out in the community. I met quite a few people during my work with nonprofits. One very important friend, Mary Rose Yarling, I met at a mental health conference being held in Madison. She told me her nonprofit got a letter from the Internal Revenue Service saying they needed more paperwork about their business before they could grant them nonprofit status. Charities need the status to receive government grants and donations. She was very worried and showed me the letter. It was very detailed. I read it and told her to write down the list they gave in the letter of what they want. I told her to separate the list from the rest of the letter. The IRS wanted newsletters, business cards, meeting announcements, letterhead, and anything else with her nonprofit's name on it. Then the IRS would approve that they are indeed in business. So it would be less confusing if she just had the list to look at, then she could send what they had. Mary Rose was thrilled that what I told her made complete sense, and she is going to do it. She then thought of something she could help me with. She asked if I took my medications at the same time or whether I sometimes forget to take them. I told her I am often not sure. She said I should take them at the same time every day since that is the easiest way to remember. I followed her advice. I noticed changes since I was not accidentally overdosing because of being unsure if I took them or not. I was able to make sure I got the medication since it's very important that I take it. I met this other friend, Mary Moran, while doing nonprofit work. She got me started thinking about my sleep schedule. We talked on the phone regularly. I always valued what she told me. She told me I needed to get up at the same time every day to be more regular and not sleep so much. She explained that I should not have a problem getting up if I always get up at the same time. Dr. Walters kept telling me I needed more structure in my life. I thought taking my pills on time and waking on schedule were a big part of structure and recovery.